Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am a journaler, journal maker and teacher of journaling courses, and today is the last day of the Inspiration Journal course, day 30, where we are going to do the cover of our journals. So that is the collage prompt. But if you have already got a pretty cover for your journal, or you already went ahead and decorated your cover, feel free to change this prompt and just do another page spread in your journal. The journaling prompt for today is inspiration. So just do any page in your journal as inspirational, whatever that means for you. For me, I am decorating my cover of this Yellow Pages phone book that I used as my altered book journal, and I have this beautiful image of these jars with flowers inside that I got from Daphne's Diary magazine. I've had this for a while sitting in my basket of cutouts, and I always knew that I wanted to do something with this piece, and I wanted to turn this into a cover. I wasn't sure what kind of journal to turn it into. I thought I would originally be maybe a smaller size journal, the size of the picture, but yeah, I haven't done anything with it for so long that I thought, you know, this whole exercise, this whole course is about using those things that we've been putting aside, that has no place, that hasn't found a home quite yet, but we like these pieces speak to us, these pieces inspire us in some way. And so this inspiration journal is a landing place or a holding place to keep all of those pieces that we've been collecting, or the things that we find that inspire us. And I love that I'm putting this one on the front cover. I just absolutely love this image. It just makes me happy. I think it's so beautiful, it's so pretty, and I wanted that to be my feature piece on the cover. So maybe that's what you want to choose for your own journal cover. Just choose one image, or maybe it's a piece of fabric, or maybe it's a piece of paper that you just absolutely love, and highlight that on your cover. If you're doing a journal page spread, then choose one piece that just really grabs you and speaks to you, and use that as your focal point for your cover. So I am adding some washi tape first down across the spine, just to, I don't know, I guess hold the pages together, and also to tie in the collage, the back pages with the front pages, or the front cover with the back cover. And the seaweed washi tape, that's what it's called. It's a William Morris design washi tape, and the seaweed is my favorite washi tape, my favorite William Morris design. So that's why I'm using that, because I'm using all my favorite things in this journal. And then I have this page from Granny Chic, so that's also another book that I find very inspiring, along with Daphne's Diary. So the fact that I can combine the two pieces onto this cover, that makes me happy. And it's just this page of a whole bunch of doilies in a teal basket, so even the color works well for me. And I love doilies and vintage doilies and embroidery and all that kind of thing, so that ties in well with this journal. And then to fill in the gaps, because this is quite a long or a tall journal, I just had to fill in these gaps at the top and bottom of the page. So what I've got here is some vintage music paper, just a scrap piece, and because I'm being very intentional with every little element, every piece that I put on the cover, I want it to have some sort of connection to me. So what I chose for this piece are the lyrics that say, "World of dreaming, let thy whispers fall on me." So that's what I wanted to show at the top of the page, because this inspiration journal is sort of like my journal of dreams. And I want this journal, the things I stick on the pages, to speak to me, that they whisper to me, that kind of idea there. Then for the bottom of the page, I could have used some more music paper, but I thought, this is a collage, let's use as many different pieces as we can. So I just used this cherry blossom type of paper to go there, and that reminds me of the cherry blossom trees that grew along the road that I walked to on my way to and from school. So really pretty trees, really pretty flowers, and a memory that ties into. And I think that goes well, pulling out a bit of the pink from the flowers inside those jars. And then I thought it just maybe needed to be lifted off the page a little bit more, just to stand out a bit more. So I just pulled out this vintage paper, this ledger paper from my grandma's notebook. Again, so that gives this collage a more personal touch. Every other page that I've included, or every other piece that I've included for this collage, while it is pretty and meaningful, it doesn't have any personal connection in terms of something that I picked up from my own life. Whereas this paper from my grandma's book, this ties me to, you know, real life ephemera, family connection, that kind of thing. And so it's drawing in a whole bunch of different things that I like. Vintage, music paper, fabric and doilies, and memories and stories, and then everyday real life ephemera and family and all that kind of thing. So yeah, again, that's what this whole journal is about, and all of our journals are about this, where they are creative biographies, where every piece that we put on the page shares something about us and tells parts of our stories. So I also pulled out these words. These I cut out from either Daphne's Diary magazine or In Her Studio magazine. So one word says inspiration, and the other phrase says a creative space. So those were the two words that I really wanted to include for my cover, because this journal is my inspiration journal, the place where I'm putting all the things that inspire me. And then a creative space because I am using this journal as a creative outlet, as a place where I can express myself creatively. So those two things, a place of inspiration and a place of creativity. That's what this journal is all about. So yeah, once I am happy with the layout, I just apply some of my Clear Craft wet glue and just add everything on the page. One thing I forgot to mention is the paper doily that I included on the page. I just kind of ripped up half of it and stuck that underneath the bottles, the image of the bottles, and I don't know, I just like that. Tiffany Julia, she's on YouTube. She often does that, just uses doilies, either whole doilies or fragments of doilies, to layer up her collages and things like that. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. And I really like the idea. I really want to get a whole bunch of different coloured doilies. I've seen people using these pretty pastel mint and teal and aqua doilies. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. You can get doilies in all different colours. Wonderful. And I love that there's like heart-shaped doilies, there's small doilies, medium doilies, large doilies, everything. I love that I got some gold doilies as well. So just something different other than the plain, white doilies. And of course you can coffee dye them too, which is fun. But yeah, I love the idea of all these different coloured doilies. So I'm keeping my eye out for these pastel doilies. They're very, very pretty. And I know I'm covering those words, oh, for the love of a doily, but even knowing that they're just there on the page and that it's representing my love of doilies, that's just enough kind of thing for me to have that there. So I was playing around with adding some of my grandpa's, or something from my grandpa on the page. So this book, it's a very old commentary that was his and that is now mine. And I thought maybe I could put that somewhere on the page to add to the collage and the layers and the history of the collage. I pulled out some of my own typewriting that I used from my grandpa's typewriter to type that, and just thought maybe I could add some pieces on the page with some words that have to do with this journal. And I did play around with that a little bit, but in the end I found that while it could have worked, you can make anything work with a collage, with a junk journal. Even though it could have worked, I just found it a bit too busy, and I just liked the way things looked with the things that I already had on the page. So I ended up not using those other elements. But I did, play around with it quite a while, trying to make it work. But in the end, sometimes the simplest method is the best method. And yeah, just I've got a lot of things already happening on the page, and all of the individual elements I love, I really enjoy, so I didn't need any more. Although I would say, you know, if you want to stick more on the page, go for it. It's your page. It doesn't have to be an aesthetically beautiful masterpiece. All it needs to be is something that you feel like makes you happy, that inspires you, that gives you joy, that tells parts of your story. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's busy or not busy. It doesn't matter if it's clashing or anything like that. All that matters is that all the things that you want on the page are on the page. So that's my front page, and I really love it. I was thinking about adding both of these phrases onto the cover, but I thought I would save one for the front cover and one for the back cover. So since it's my inspiration journal, I put the word inspiration on the front cover. And then it did take me a little while again to figure out where to place the words, at the top of the picture, at the bottom of the picture, but in the end I just put it in the bottom right corner, and that just reminds me, yes, this is my inspiration journal. And then on the back page I would reserve a creative space phrase to go on there. I was playing around with some other words too that I cut out from magazines that I thought would go well with the theme of this journal, but in the end again I was like, no, let's just keep it simple. 2 words or 2 phrases, that's enough. So yeah, that is my front cover. Very happy with it. I love looking at my front cover. I just think it's stunning, not because of anything I did really, just because those bottles with the glass jars and the flowers inside them, like, oh, that is just so pretty for me. I'm so happy, and I'm so glad to have put that on the front cover because I just love it. I love it so much. I love looking at it. Yeah, I love this journal. So yeah, the back page is pretty simple. I just used this gallery wall image from Granny Chic. Like, I just love it. This is kind of what I want to do with my wall. Maybe not to this extent, not the entire wall, but I love that idea of having a scrapbook wall, a place where you can just express yourself, and every image, every photo, every painting, every piece that you put on that wall, again, would tell us a piece of your story. I love that idea. So that's sort of inspiration for me. And it kind of tells the story of this journal. This journal is my place where I stick all those pieces that I love, page by page by page, rather than on a wall in a room. I'm just going to use some vintage music paper again down the bottom here to cover up the blank space there. And just so you know, again, being intentional with what I choose, the music paper at the bottom has the word golden written on it, and so I thought that's perfect for this journal. This is my journal where I place all the things that I consider gold. Beautiful things, pretty things, things that give me joy, things that inspire me. They all go into this journal. Those are things that I consider gold. And so maybe you want to create your own gold journal. Well, I guess this whole course was about creating a gold journal. Gold meaning inspiration, meaning beauty, meaning joy, meaning all the good things in life that you can document on this page. Isn't that back page even beautiful there, just on the other side of this page? So beautiful. I love seeing collections of different things. And that's one of my strengths from the Strengths Finder test. I was talking about this before in the live, how when I took the Strengths Finder test, my second strength was input. And that's basically where you collect, gather, organize and archive different things, all because you just love them. You get great joy out of them. And that's me. That is me. My whole life I have gotten so much joy out of various things, lots of things. So it makes me happy to collect them, to gather them, to arrange them and select them and archive them and preserve them and document them. That's probably why I'm a journaler, because of my input, my strength input. I never really saw it as a strength before until I read about the Strengths Finder. And now I just run with it, like, yes, this is what I love, this is what I do, I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to share it. And I know lots of you guys can relate. In the journal world, we love collecting things and we love documenting things. It's so fun. I love it. Anyway, I hope you love this course. Thank you so much for joining me with it. I've loved seeing your pages of your journals and your prompts and how you've responded to them in your unique way. I've had so much fun with this course. It was so good for my well-being. I hope it was good for you too. And I will do a full flip through with all of my journaling in there and all my pieces added tomorrow, so you can check that out, and then we will move on to some new things now that this course is done. But yeah, hope you absolutely loved it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Big special thank you to all my beautiful patrons who supported in May. Thank you for allowing me to do this for another month. I hope you absolutely love being a patron and all the extra rewards you get over on my Patreon. You get access to extra videos and printables and personal updates, first access to my journals, and much more. So if you'd like to become a patron in June, feel free to check out the link in the description box to my Patreon.